Hey guys, how you doing? Wanted to talk to you about buying a new vehicle in 2022. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my process of what works. I wanted to tell you how you do not have to pay over MSRP, and I wanted to tell you why you should consider buying from a dealership. So I'm going to go over quite a few things in this video. So I'm going to try to streamline it as much as I can, but buying a car in 2022 has a lot of challenges that never existed. Negotiations are on a totally different level, and the dealerships really have what they feel a lot of leverage, and they're trying to, on their side, is prepare for the worst possible storm and make as much money as they can during this time of demand and this time of supply chain shortages. So they feel that everything they have is of much higher value, or at least a lot of them do. And I will inform you right now, not every manufacturer is happy about the over MSRP charges of supply chain demand fees, convenience fees, market value increase fees that these dealerships are putting on. They aren't. Some are not saying anything, some are starting to say something. So the information I'm going to give you today, if you are in the market for a new or used vehicle from a dealership, is going to save you thousands upon thousands of dollars. Plain and simple. So I would like you to please consider giving any advice that you have in the comments as I go through this. Ask any questions that you like, and just try to give your input. If I bore you and you dislike it, give me a comment of why and how I can improve this. I would greatly appreciate it. If you find a value to it, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, yada yada. So on buying a new vehicle or a used vehicle from a dealership, the first thing I do is I go and I talk to the shop. I talk to the service department. I talk to the service writer. I talk to the service manager. If I can, I talk to the actual mechanics. They aren't always going to let you talk to them, but that's okay. What you're going to do is ask a lot of questions. You're going to get to know them. You're going to be conversationalist. One thing I find that opens the door really, really good is to ask them if they ever have a sales rep come and dump something on them at the last minute right before they walk out the door, like to prep a vehicle for a sale before they're, right before they're supposed to get off, knowing that it's going to take them another hour before they get to leave work now. It happens to them all the time. They know which sales rep, but all you're doing is getting them talking. So in the process of getting them talking through all of this is really good for you to garner the information that you need to garner. So you're wanting to know, one, about their processes. Two, if you can get them to talk about their markup on their parts and how much they're paying for markup, is fantastic. And I got somebody pulling up here just staring at me doing this video. It's fun. He's probably freaking out. Anyways, so to do that, you garner a lot of useful information that is very profitable to you at this point in time. One, you're going to know about their processes. Two, you're going to find out about the vehicle you're considering buying, how many updates there are for it, how many things have had to be done on it, how do they like working on it, do they enjoy it, do they see it much, what's the PDI for that particular vehicle look like, the pre-delivery inspection. They have a sheet called a PDI that goes over each process of what they are doing to that vehicle. Ask them if you can have a copy of it. You're going to hold on to a copy of this. So if you already know the model that you want, that's great. Or the two models you want. Maybe the same PDI sheet, especially if it's the same manufacturer. Now, let's backtrack a little bit. Before you go in, you should already have your wants and needs figured out. Your wants are going to be things that, we're going to put to column B right now, but your needs got to be on the top of the list. If you need better fuel mileage, you need more space, you should know exactly what your needs are, and you're going in there with that knowledge. Having it written down on a notepad is great. Your wants, some of these wants can be added in later. Knowing this when you talk to the service department is fantastic information. Let's say you want self-dimming mirrors, but it's not popular on the model that you have or as an add-on. See if it can be added on. Ask them specifically if the wiring harness is the same on that elite trim that has a standard with it as it is on the premium trim, or however they have it worded of what you're looking at. 95% of the time, it's the exact same wiring harness. Things like heated mirrors, hitches, all that stuff are literally disassembly, removal of the existing mirror, so to speak, plugging in the heated mirror, sometimes having to put the switch in the dash, and reassembling. And it's all the wiring's there. It's just plug and play all the way around. Just having the knowledge to do it. Asking them, what is the book time on that job? So if you know what your wants are, and you know the book time of it, and you know the value of the part itself from them, you now know exactly what it costs to put it on. We'll get to, on the perks later on, how to negotiate that for an even better price. So now I've garnered all the information that I need from them. I'm also garnering information from the sales staff, the sales manager, or the people who are in management decisions on the sales floor, as well as, if I can, the owner. I want to find out how involved the owner is. Ask them on their hiring process if the owner ever spoke to them. If they have a serious open door policy, they've spoken to the owner regularly, sometimes before hire, knowing that, knows the value invested in his staff, knowing that you can, more than likely, if he's there, easily get to him. Before you go in front of an owner, you better be very well educated and know what you're talking about, though. So, because he's paying people to be really good. So you don't want to insult him by not trusting his or her decision on putting the people in authority that he's put in authority. So going to the sales floor, I always go to the receptionist or the person in reception. I don't let a salesperson talk to me because they aren't going to be helping me. I want to establish a couple of things first. So as I go directly to the reception desk or the person greeter, however it's worded, I need to speak to the decision maker, period. I want to be direct with this. I need to speak to the person in charge who has the authority to make decisions. This eliminates 90% of the people on that floor right away, and the reception greeter knows and understands this. They think they are dealing with an upset customer, and they probably have 3 go-to people that they want to bring this in front of. I keep raising this every once in a while to see it in the mirror to see if it's still recording. This is the 4th time I've done this video. So you now are going to be brought the person in charge of making the decisions. This person, you want to inform them that I would like to take 2 minutes of your time in a private area. They always have an office or a space that they can take you to. So by getting them off the sales floor, this establishes to that entire sales floor, because right now the receptionist thinks that they're dealing with an angry customer. This creates gossip. This creates tension. They want to know what's going on. And when you take that manager off of the floor, you now are in a management role. You now are doing something none of the other sales staff have the authority or the ability to do. You are now in control. And everybody there automatically assumes that. You've walked in, you've presented yourself in an authoritative position, and you are now taking the time from the management. So in this discussion, when you get to a private room, I inform the manager that, hey, I've just taken X amount of time out of my day. My time is very valuable to me. This is time away from my family or time away from work or whatever it is, but it's of value to me. Just so I can sit across from you right now. I am going to buy X or X vehicle. I understand that people are charging over MSRP, but the price that's paid there, I can take that $2,000 and I can fly to Seattle because I always wanted to go to the Seattle Aquarium, or to St. Louis to the St. Louis Zoo, or to Memphis to go visit Beale Street or whatever, and have a mini vacation and get a vehicle down there and drive it back. Right there, what I just did is I informed them that 1, I'm willing to walk out that door. 2, I'm willing to take my money and put it towards me on me time instead of giving it to you for a stupid markup value. I'm willing to take some extra time out of my day or a weekend and go buy a vehicle and do something I enjoy doing with that money. If I'm going to spend it, I'm going to spend it right. This automatically puts you in a very good position. They understand this. Everyone understands now that I'm willing to walk out the door. I'm willing to go put my money elsewhere. Two, informing them that I understand that you're going to try to mark up with, nitrogen in my tires. I know that nitrogen is stable for X amount of temperature drop in between a 40-degree swing. We happen to have those in our area quite often. If my tires change this much air pressure, I'll know that you didn't put it in there and you lied to me and you charged me for it. That will not be acceptable. We can just go ahead and leave that out. Also, with the coating that they telling you they're putting on the paint, I want to see the SDS sheet of any chemical added to this after factory. Everyone knows in that position what an SDS sheet is. It's a material data sheet of what chemicals are on the premises. They have to have this on hand. You wanted to know that. They don't know whether whether or not you can tell off the ingredients list of that SDS sheet of whether this product is worth the value that they are charging to spray on or to put in your tires or anything like that. This puts you in an educated position. They don't need to know whether you know or not. You don't need to know. You just need to inform them that you feel that you can look at that and determine whether that's a value to you or not for them to add on. If you're dealing with having to wait for a vehicle, you can leave that off as well. I don't need to pay that extra unless you're willing to present this and put a more suitable guarantee than a year or whatever they do. Also, now is the time that you've established your ground rules is to start being conversationalist. Start building a relationship. Okay? Letting them know that you want to build and deal with a business that you have reciprocity with, that you are back and forth and feel that you can rely on. I'm giving you my time. These are my ground rules of things I'm not going to bypass on, but I'm willing to be of a partnership with you, from here on out. I want to be, having something where I don't have to go through this discussion every single time with someone. They're going to, at that point in time, you need to find out whether they have what you want in stock or whether or not they're going to have to order it. Asking them what's in the pipeline that has not had a deposit put on it informs them that you understand how things are going and what kind of wait time you'll have to have. He'll have to go get that list. Then you will more than likely be addressed to a different person to handle things because you don't need them anymore. You've already set the tone for the entire dealership of where you're at. They probably won't give you to a salesman just because you've now taken all of the salesman's tools away from them, unless they possibly want to use you as a teaching tool to a younger salesman, which sometimes that can happen. But usually that's assisted with another management position, somebody like in charge of internet sales or financing, or somebody who's got a lot of experience dealing with customers, customer relations, because they want to now ensure that this goes through. They don't want to drop the ball. They know that you've informed them if you're willing to pay MSRP, they're going to make money on it. They aren't going to make as much as they want. They don't want to look bad, because if you walk out the door with the knowledge that you already have on their business, they don't want that popping up on Facebook or something. They don't know how you're going to use the information you have. They want to give you a good experience at this point in time. They want to make sure you leave, happy, or as happy as possible. In the sales process, I let people know that I am willing to travel. We aren't going to do this negotiating BS. This is, where we're at. Looking at the model, making sure that it has your needs there, your wants, informing them now that these wants, if they aren't there, you don't have to pay interest on it. You can have it added on later. Knowing the price of those keeps them from saying, well, this is an $1,800 add-on. Now, actually, those mirrors are $200, and it is an hour of book time, which your current shop rate is $95. So actually, the price of that is X amount. That stops everybody in their tracks, because they don't know for sure if you're lying, making it up, or if you're being honest. And if they take a second to go check and find out you're being honest and 100% accurate, now they are very concerned about who you are and your knowledge of their workings, because you already talked to the shop. You already came very prepared to speak with them. You are now in 100% control of this person as well. Now, I'm not saying use this to take advantage of anybody. Okay? I'm not about that. But I am saying to use this to make sure that you aren't being taken advantage of. At that point in time, you've established all your ground rules. Now let's talk about why to buy from a dealership. To buy from a dealership, there are a couple of things on your negotiating tool belt to be able to use here. One, parts. I want parts at X amount discount for the life that I own this vehicle. 10% is not uncalled for to ask for. 20% is not uncalled for to ask for. They're getting usually a 20 to 40% markup on all their parts. They want you back in their shop. They want to see you more often. They get a better chance to sell you something else or to do other work that is needed to your vehicle. Plain and simple. So them giving you a discount is a benefit for them as well to ensure that vehicle comes back there and letting them know that, hey, I like to, keep business in one place. They do too. Same with shop labor rates. Services, throw in 5 services, throw in 10 services. Because when they're doing a service, they're gonna want to outline that it's very clear that's oil filter, blah, blah, blah. Have it in writing. Your vehicle over time is going to need certain maintenance services, general, like timing belt tensioner adjustments or brake fluid change. Things like that are on a scheduled maintenance for that vehicle. Them having that there gives them an opportunity to sell that service to you. That's a great thing to be able to have in your favor and be able to work with. But do it with a discount or do it to where they're throwing that in there for free, with that labor time and things like that. So those are some of the perks of that. Other things, tire rotations. Your local shop will do it for probably $10 to $20 and be happy to do that for you. Them having that opportunity to have you back in front of them and doing it for free and you get a free cup of coffee out of it, fantastic. Having that on the table for them to give it to you for free or something like that, or car washes, things of those nature. So those are some of the benefits that you can use. Their service department, all their services are there for customer building, customer service relationship, and getting the customer in there as much as possible. Allow them to use that, but they're going to give you a discount to use all their services, acknowledging that they have all these services, but you aren't going to pay full price. You're now buying a brand new or a used vehicle at X amount of dollars. You want that reciprocity, that discount to continue through the relationship at the time of business that I'm dealing with you. Then also you can hint that, that way later on when I'm looking for another vehicle, I have a good relationship built with you. That puts in their mindset that, oh, I'm not only dealing with this sale, I'm dealing with a future sale as well, plus all the maintenance and stuff in between. It sets them more at ease on giving you this stuff at a discounted price. I really hope this video took this time. I hope you got a lot of information out of this. Please, if you think of some better ways to do things, leave comments. If you've used any kind of a tactic like this or just building that relationship and that rapport with a customer, please, or a dealership, please take the time to leave a comment, give your feedback. I would greatly appreciate it. If there's things I could improve, or like I said, things that work just as good.
Well, my audio just died, or my mic, I should say. So what I was saying is, if you guys know some things that work, or if you want to give your feedback of how you handle things, I'd greatly appreciate you taking the time to go ahead and put that in the comments. Leave your experiences, things like that. My phone's going to sit here and go off every time I try to do anything. Maybe you can hear that as well. So, anyways, please take the time to comment. I'd greatly appreciate it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. I'm just rambling on here. I can't even remember what I'd said. So we're going to cut this video off now, and you have a wonderful, wonderful time.